live. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Hey, what are you doing way over there? Go over here so we can see you. Can I pop this back into? How does one do it? Then chat, more chat. Friendo. Friendo. Rant, rant. Come here. A bit easier for us to read. I would like to be able to read. Okay. Okay.
Can you hit when you're?
Yeah, we're live, by the way.
Oh, we are live. Nice.
I'm just getting stuff set up still, peeps. So please bear with us.
Please, thank you. Mas gracias.
Mas gracias. Ass. Alright, I'm gonna play some music. Let us know if it's too loud. If it is too loud, deal with. I'm just kidding. I'll take it.
If it's too loud, sucks to suck, my dude.
Alright. Go ahead and crank your volume all the way up. So how does this sound? And then I will check on this, not this. That's me.
That's
this.
you.
No, that's you.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I have had a good amount of caffeine today. I am awake.
That makes sense.
You've had caffeine today.
I did. I really did. But I don't
We're
think
gonna start sharing it out
caffeine...
before we start doing that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Your caffeine hasn't...
Caffeine has not kicked in just
yet. Yeah. Hey, Toast. You're here.
I sure am.
Hello?
Hello?
Huh.
Hello?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, yellow. Alrighty.
I can barely hear the music in this, so I will turn it up in this. How's that? Better? Oh, way better. Yeah. And I don't have to sit super close either. And also, I can do this. Bro, Ezio's in chat. Yeah. Let Rizio slide into them DMs. You see him?
Noise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
You're alive. Go back to the top. Where's my mouse? Now, there will be times where I will be talking away from the mic. I do apologize. That is because I am going to be looking up the topic that we're talking about today.
In Legends.
Yeah. But before that, let's get all of our shares. Oh, hey, I have a new follower. That's nice. not on this, on a different platform.
Very nice.
At TikTok, it's more likely a bot. I'll take it though. I mean, get the numbers
a win
up.
Is a win.
Yeah.
So I did send it to my girl group, and I'm so excited about that.
Oh, I hope they, you know, stop in, say hello. I would love for my mom to pop in here too. Do you send
Right.
them the TikTok one?
I tell them both TikTok and Twitch.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be throwing this on the blue sky.
Yes, I also bugged Nick Orlick, aka Patient Zero.
Patient Zero.
I do love me some Patient Zero.
He's a good dude.
He's okay, whatever.
I wouldn't say best, but you know.
Whatever.
I'm teasing.
I know.
Nick's a good egg.
He really is.
I should
That's
hashtag
really
that.
funny.
PNG tuber. Hashtag furry. Oh, I'll just put furry. What else? Hashtag spoopy season.
It is the spook. What is it? After July 4th, spook weekend? Something like that.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, to me, once August starts to rolling in, I'm like, we are starting to get into the spooky season. Like that is when it's like the fall actually starts for me. Hence
get
the
that.
spooky music that I have playing in the background.
It's a
I
nice
worked
jam.
so hard to get this music. And by mean I worked so hard was I looked up Halloween and funny as a filter. And this is the playlist that it got me. So whatever
This is what it
music's gonna
gets
play
you.
is purely whatever this website is I'm using. Tune Tank, copyright free music that you can play for like podcasts
Cute.
and other kind of stuff. So huzzah.
That's that.
If you guys want me to leave a link in the description below for this website, I will. Just let me know. It's
Royalty
super
free.
useful.
And less chances of getting sued the American way.
I'm sharing all of the hashtags. I want this to get out to
Hashtag.
everybody.
Hashtag.
Don't want to hashtag that. You saw what it was, right?
No, I really didn't.
Cat life.
That's funny.
There ain't no cats in this. It's squirrels.
It's squirrel life, dang it.
PNG tubers.
Yeah. I realized that most of mine are going to be Asian based, which I love.
Yeah. And I a lot of mine I'm gonna try sticking into the U.S.
Okay.
Not like because outside of the Japanese ones that I know,
Yeah.
they're not really urban legends. They're more or less just like true stories,
That's
which
valid.
could be based off of
Yeah.
urban legends. But anyways, do you want to start or do you want to start off with news?
We can just start. So, hello, forest friends and fellow nuts. Welcome to Two Squirrel and One Nut, an OG Studio production brought to you by that and this.
This and that.
Whatever. So, on today's topic, we are proud to announce we are going to be talking about urban legends.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Yes. So, because we go live on Sundays and usually upload this Monday or Tuesday, depending on whether or not the brain cell is there.
And I remember,
Hence brain cell. So, with that said, we will not be able to get to all of the urban legends that exist, but we will do our best to get to some. And if this is a topic that you guys love listening to, then please, by all means, let us know, and we will gladly do a part 2.
I'm actually really considering for this too. I would love to actually read just stories based off of a specific urban legend. If we can do is this like a spin-off?
Yeah.
Cat using the scratching post.
Was
Jazz!
it a cat or was it?
Yes!
Hi, I love you. Was it a cat or was it a ghost?
Ooh. Oh, I forgot about the stories about here.
Oh yeah, that's a
Oh.
different time. That's more so for
Ghost
October,
stories?
yes.
Yeah. So, as everyone knows, it is getting to be the spooky season.
Hi.
And we wanted to lean into the spookiness,
Yes.
So urban legends, ghost stories,
Yes.
my birthday, all that kind of stuff, all around the spooky season.
Exactly.
Terrifying, I know.
Our wonderful friends, listeners, and nuts and everyone in between. Ow. If anyone has a fun, spooky story that you would like to share, please let us know.
We won't be reading it live, just so you know. I'd love to read it though.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you would like for us to read it live in our podcast, let a girl and a guy know.
Yeah.
Let squirrels know, really.
Yeah. So are you ready?
I am so
ready. Are you ready to drop the nut? Drop the nut. I'm high energy today.
You are, and I love that for
I have
you.
400 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I think I have at least 200 in
yeah.
me.
Little sprinkle of extra from the
Just-
green drink this morning.
Yes. So, do you want to rock, paper, scissors? Who gets to start?
Yeah, it's okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Scissors again.
1, 2, 3, go.
Well,
1, 2, 3, go.
Hey!
Okay.
You go first.
Okay.
I get to choose. I won. I got rock.
He did, and I got scissors. We kept getting
You
scissors.
always pick scissors.
I always pick scissors. Okay. Like, just like in chess, I do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mind my business. And likewise, in rock, paper, scissors, I mind my own business. I don't care what you're going to pick. And if I win, I win. If I lose, it wasn't meant to be. So, for today's urban legend, I'm Asian. So I am completely biased, and I will pick from 4 different Asian countries to talk about. My very first one is from the Philippines. So, there is this urban legend called Snake Man of Robinson Mall. So, if I remember this story correctly, this one couple went to an oracle and they were told that their son is going to bring them prosperity. So, with that, by the time that their sons, they had twins, were born, this family was rather rich. They had multiple malls set across Philippines, and their son, one of them was completely normal, and the other one was half man, half snake. So they kept the half man, half snake son, Mr. Snakey is what I'm going to call him, or Snake Man. So they kept Snake Man in the basement of the Robinson Mall. And this is an upscale mall, mind you. Like high hoity-toity and all that good stuff. And they would keep him in the basement, and they would feed him animals. And he was a well-kept secret until one day, I believe a custodian unfortunately stumbled across him. I don't know what he was doing down in the basement.
Custodial stuff.
Custodial stuff, right?
You know, yeah, as one does.
As one do. And unfortunately, he was among the first human victim. And from then on, Snake Man grew a taste for human flesh. And another lady accidentally made her way downstairs, and he grew a preference for beautiful women. And like I said, this is devour and eat. So with him, his method was he would be behind his 2-sided mirror in the dressing room, and he would be lurking out for beautiful women. And in this dressing room, or multiple dressing rooms, there would be a trap door. And with this trap door, if he likes what he sees and wants to eat what he sees, he's going to drop the trap door and devour her. And I thought that was one of the more interesting, urban legends. Because honestly, Snake Man, you see, like, I believe in the US, we have people who, body modify and make themselves look reptilian. So, to me, that was a very interesting kind of like a connection, if you will.
Yeah. Don't they have like the? Oh no, I'm thinking of the Wolf Boy from like the
Yes.
carnival shows. I'm air quoting, but you can't see me doing it.
Yes, the circus.
That one
freaks,
is
if
that
you
one
will.
is really fun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just got bombarded with with notifications that a comment I made on a video is getting a lot of attention, and I feel bad because it's I put it out there because I was like, no one's gonna see this comment. It's just my own stupidity. They won't know it.
Silly joke.
And then it got so popular. I'm like, now everyone knows how much of a not how stupid I am, but how just like, what's the word?
Tism.
No, like the dyslexia.
Yes.
Because I misread the word and I thought it was a different word, and I feel embarrassed.
Oh, baby. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's humorous.
Yeah. So I shared mine. What's yours?
Let's see. Well, so obviously we could talk about the urban legends of like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster and stuff like that.
Yes.
I also do, but a lot of them have been debunked. 1 second. I need to type it in. Beast of...
What was that slapping sound?
Don't worry about it. It's whenever I type the word F. So when I play Helldivers, F is for a melee attack, so it sounds like I'm slapping enemies away.
That's fun. I love that for you.
I think it's rare.
Okay.
Is that the one in Wisconsin? Yeah, Beast of Bray Road. So, the only reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I love urban legends. I love spooky stuff, and I love the outdoors. It's fun. So there's a movie, but it's an actual urban legend called Beast of Bray. Bray? Is that how am I pronouncing that right? Bray Road. B-R-A-Y.
Your guess is as great as mine.
B-Ray Road.
B-Ray.
That people are like, oh, it's a werewolf. Like this thing is a werewolf. And there have been so many sightings of this thing carrying like a deer carcass, standing on its hind legs, walking away and doing stuff like that. And people are like, yeah, that they full on spotted a werewolf. Now, I used to work overnights at a security hut, so you can imagine why I'm into like spooky stuff, because there's not much going on third shift on security, so you got to keep yourself entertained. So I was reading up on all the stuff, and then people are like showing like artist renditionings of this air quote werewolf, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is interesting. And the guy I was working with was just like, yeah, dude, can you believe that? Like, people are seeing that, they said I saw a werewolf, and I'm like, I want you to Google something. If anybody can, if you're not driving, you're stationary, you can do it too. Just type in Google Images, black bear with mange. Go to the images.
Oh, it looks like
it's a werewolf.
it makes me think of a hyena.
If that thing was standing on its hind legs, you'd be like, that's a werewolf. Look at that picture down there.
Yeah, that's true. I can see it.
So when I said that to my buddy, and he's just like, that doesn't make, and I'm like, no, I mean, how do you explain the deer then? Bears don't, carry, dead animals in their arms like that. They do, because bears, if those of you that didn't know this, bears like to take their fresh kill or roadkill, take it away, bury it somewhere, let it ferment a little bit and get all tasty, and then eat it. They preferred rotting. They are scavengers more than anything. They're not hunters. So the possibility of this thing carrying off a roadkill is very likely. And my buddy got so upset that I just debunked it by saying bear with mange. And he's just like, oh man, that's a real bummer. But
sucks to suck, my dude.
But there's he started calling me the pessimistic. Is that what it's called?
When you're always looking
not pessimistic. What is it? What's the other one?
Pessimistic is when you're always negative. Optimistic is always positive or often
we
positive.
I can't remember what the terms that we came up with, because we were talking about actually going out and looking for, these
Mm-hmm.
urban legends, and we had a term for if it's plausible or it's supernatural. He was more or less immediately believed supernatural. So I guess it was like the hopeful.
The hopeful and the skeptic.
Yes, that was a term, the skeptic. He kept calling me a skeptic, but I'm like, but I believe in the supernatural. So it's just, I have a very logical brain.
You do.
So yeah, bear with mange is just, a werewolf. I mean, and if you guys look it up and if you don't believe it, most of those pictures are taken during the day. And imagine seeing one of those going 60 miles an hour on a highway at night. You're gonna think you saw a werewolf. I'm sorry.
That's fair, because, when you're driving faster and it's dark, your mind, the brain already automatically fills in the gaps for you. And, with it being dark and you going fast, of course it's gonna fill in some very colorful blanks.
But this is the image. If you type in the Beast of Bray Road, it looks like a wolf in like a sheep's clothing almost, standing on its hind legs, which is possible.
It is. It's very possible.
I mean, I'm saying that this image obviously looks fake.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, unless it doesn't have its front legs and it has to walk on its hind legs.
The arms look like skeletons from here.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So it may have to be forced to walk on its hind legs.
Ah, I see.
But yeah, Wolfman in Wisconsin. I debunked it. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
I have other urban legends that I do want to talk about, but I won't debunk those ones because honestly, I don't know how. So
that's fair.
That's the beauty of this.
That's the beauty of it all. So
what do you got?
This is one of my favorite ones, and my ancestors, forgive me. I'm not good at pronouncing things, and I will be upfront now. So the Manananggal is a creature that by day they're human. By night they can detach their upper torso. Their intestines would just be dangling, and they grow wings.
Bat-like wings.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know this one.
And their preferred prey is unborn fetus, which they will get from pregnant women. And I distinctively remember a story about this one. It was, I think I saw it online, where this one lady, the rest of her family was going to go to church, beautiful church Sunday. And I believe it was during nighttime, because it has to be. And with that, she's pregnant. Like, she wasn't feeling good, so she decided to stay home. And, when everyone was gone, she sees this creature and was frightened out of her mind. Because can you imagine a random torso with bat wings and intestines drooping around trying to eat you? Or trying to get your baby. Like, that's terrifying. So, that was one of my favorites.
That one is, I remember that one. It has like a long, tongue, basically, to get the baby out. Or not the baby. Does it eat the baby, or does it just it eats the nutrients? Like a vampire.
I want to say it eats the baby. Because it kills the mom, of course, who gets the baby. Manang here. Manang.
For those of you that want to know how it's spelled, it is spelled Manananggal. Weird way of spelling banana.
Banana, but yes. So I thought that, like I said, I think that
That's just a straight up vampire without legs.
I mean, you're not wrong. This is what I told you. I think that's why it's one of my favorites, just because it is so grotesque and interesting. Aside from this one, it's taking a selfie.
It looks like with Jennifer's Body style.
Yeah.
She's like splitting in half, but let me take a selfie first.
But first, guys, selfie.
That's funny. Now the Bratz doll up there.
Oh, I love it. like I said, she's a fun one.
Okay, I have to look this one up because I don't remember it that well.
Sure,
Just give me like 2 seconds. I could talk about the one of the places that's one of the most haunted places on this earth, which is awesome to say.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Nice.
I wanted to get like it actually pulled up, but I don't think this site will have it. No. So anyways, this is just an urban legend from when I was a kid. There's actually 2 that I have that were local from where I grew up around. So there was one of one of the most haunted places in Illinois, but I think it's like one of the most haunted places. It's well known. I'm not talking about Bachelor Grove Cemetery. That's one of the most haunted places on Earth, which is cool. Or like the forest in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This one is called Diversitech, and I'm not super familiar with the surroundings of it, but it used to be a mental institute way back in the day when mental institutes were more or less like what would they call them? Not sanatoriums.
Insane asylum?
Yeah. It was like an insane asylum, allegedly. Again, this is all just an urban legend that's been passed down from like kids at the playground kind of thing. But if you've seen 13 Ghosts, isn't it 13 Ghosts? Not that one. What's the other one with all the ghosts? House on Haunted Hill. If you've seen any kind of movie like that, not like Haunting of Hill House. No, House on Haunted Hill is like an insane asylum where one of the lead doctors was experimenting on a lot of the patients. So the legend goes that this insane asylum had a bunch of patients in it, but it also had underground catacombs that are still there today. A lot of them have collapsed or intentionally have been closed off due to I think there's multiple, like a subdivision that's there now, and then there's like I want to call it a school, but it's kind of like youth center for troubled youth. I don't know what else to call it other than that. But at any rate, so they have it all closed off, but the legend is that they would take the patients down there and experiment on them in very creepy and evil ways. Because, back in the day, they didn't have, this, boards and like the people that would go and investigate this stuff and then like, hey, you guys can't do that. This is inhumane. They didn't have anything like that back then. So it's super, super crazy haunted. I know this because I know people that have gone in those catacombs. Whether it's been for evacuations, because they had like tornado sirens that would go off, and then like the youth center that I was talking about, they would have to go to seek shelter down there. And some of the staff, this is reported from the staff, that when they were walking through there, they had this horrifying pain. Excuse me. Oh my God, excuse me. They would have this intense burning pain run across their back, and they couldn't explain it. No one was behind them. They were the last people. They were the last people to actually leave. So they were like to make sure there was no more kids behind. So they were basically the tail end of it. No one was behind them. And when they had someone inspect their back, it was claw marks scratching down their backs, which is super scary. Because again, how do you explain that? Other than just maybe they brushed up against a wall or something like that. But they looked so much like fingernails. And the legend just keeps growing and growing. And I think one of the ghost hunter channels tried going there. Not channels, but the ghost hunting, I don't want to call them spoofs, but the ghost hunting people that are on like cable and TV and whatnot. I think they tried getting in there, but because it was like a government facility, they actually can't. So, kind of a bummer. But yeah, so that's another super haunted place. I personally haven't gone into those tunnels, and I don't think I ever will. I wanted to when I was younger because it was just like the idea of going in to one of those, like the catacombs underneath the Sasane Asylum, sounded so fun when I was a kid, when I was into like, oh, let's go hunt for ghosts. I was naive and white, and that would have been a terrible idea. I know, like Caucasian curiosity. I outgrew it. I'm better now. But no, I would still like to go look for, urban legend stuff, but at a safe distance. I'm not as spry as I once was. I'm not a fresh nut of sorts. But I do know some people that are still in that area, and as far as I know, the catacombs are still there. But I don't think there's any outside sources can get in. I know my dad talked about he found a path that led out to a river when him and his buddy was canoeing, and they found this drainage basically, and they crawled through it and they followed it all the way through to the actual catacombs, which I thought was awesome, but I don't know the actual, like, how much truth is behind that. I don't think I would ever go and investigate it. But hey, if any of you have been to like a haunted place like that, tell us below. That would be fun. I'd love to hear about it. Ghost stories of your own of sorts. I know I have a few, and I know Dat also has a few ghost stories that personally. Maybe we'll do an episode just based off of that. I think that would be fun. Maybe bring in other people to talk about their ghost stories and their supernatural events that happened to them. That'd be fun. Maybe do that for Halloween. A Halloween podcast. Yeah, why not? I'll write that down really quick. Jotting it down. What was that? Oh. Anyways. Yeah, that's the Diversitech one. Oh, speaking of canoes, that reminds me of another urban legend I'll have to get to. What other one do you have?
So, I have one about this forest called the Devil Forest. And I want to say that it's based in the Philippines. And with the Devil Forest, there is the inhabitants, the inhabitants are shapeshifters, all kind of, creatures that you can think of, and of course, the devil himself.
Like Treeple?
Oh no.
Tree people? Treeple?
Treeple. So, with this forest, I believe the saying goes is that these shapeshifters will
Shapeshifters? I can't say it.
Shapeshifters.
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 There we go. I actually slow down my brain.
Yeah, no, what he said. Shapeshifters. But anyway, so these shapeshifters would lure the humans in, and I believe the saying goes is that once you enter, you can't go out. Kind of like that staircase in the forest lore where if you go up, you're just
gone.
You're
Lost
just gone.
Forever.
So I thought that one was very fascinating because there's that one, and then there's also a city that just makes me think of like the Feywild, where if you accidentally enter the city or if you get lured into the city, time looks very different here. And, you might think that you've been there for like a minute and then a week or so went by. I forgot, like, at least that's what the locals say.
But that's
But it's
spooky.
a city in, I want to say the Philippines. I just can't remember specifically where it's said to be located.
So it's kind of like a Wendigo situation,
Like I
or
said,
is it different?
I was thinking Feywild, where like Fey creatures would bring you in, and like kind of like a different dimensionness where, like,
I'm talking about
time.
the Treeple story that you're talking about.
Oh no, I never said Treeple. You said Treeple.
I know, but I'm just reading the trees.
Yeah. So I have like multiple.
I didn't know if
tabs
this is the
open.
one that you were talking
No,
about. That's why I was.
it's not.
Okay, my bad. I was like, "Where you're talking about different information than what I'm reading? What's happening here?"
So yes, I was talking from memory while this was looking at my screen.
Yeah,
and being nosy.
Well, yeah, I was being nosy because I was like, "Oh, I want to see if I know this one." I don't know this one.
Yeah.
Entomology. So yeah, speaking of the canoes, there was an urban legend. This is hilarious, and I implore you, please, if you know small children, tell them this story because it is a story that my father and one of his close friends told my brothers, my cousins, and our father's friends' kids, which we can just consider them cousins. They acted like brothers, so all of the kids were told the story of the squeegees, right? And no, I'm not talking about the little thing that you use on like glass to wipe off away water. No, not that. The squeegees, as the urban legend was created almost on the spot, was these fish-like people that would burrow into like the side of these cliff faces where we lived, like it was limestone. So they would burrow into those and hide in there. And my father told me, like, hey, don't steer too close to the cliff faces or the squeegees will get you. And obviously it was probably a way of avoiding getting in contact with, rocks or rocks falling on us. But this was a fun way of actually going about it. So he would tell us, like, don't climb on the cliff faces because it's, the squeegees will hide in those little holes and they will pop out and bite your fingers. And then you won't have any fingers. And it was scary. Like, as a kid that was like learning how to fish and all that stuff. And it made me like, I don't want to climb on those rocks. That sounds terrible. I don't want to lose my fingies.
Yeah.
I like all 10 of my fingies.
All 10 of them.
Yes, and my toes. I like my tootsies as well. So he would tell us the story, and his friend, we would go over there for Halloween and have big Halloween bonfires and big parties. It was awesome. He had a shovel that he's like, yeah, this shovel I had to use to fend off squeegees that were landlocked and they were coming in for our farm animals that were across the way. And I had to fight this one off because it was coming for, the youngest kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed us the shovel, and the shovel had, which I can only describe as a bite mark taken out of it. Like if someone, like a small person, bit a chunk out, like a U shape, out of the metal shovel. And which I guess it was like a spade shovel. Mm-hmm. So it's not a like thin, cheap metal, it's hardened steel and iron. So it had this chunk taken out of it, and as kids were like, that's evidence, that's proof, that is proof that the squeegee exists. Oh my god, we can never go into the cornfield lest the squeegee get us, because he did live next to like a creek / river, whatever you want to call it. So like as a kid, I believe that like completely sold on it. That is a thing that you need to be terrified of. Now that I'm older, it's obviously not real. The name alone, squeegee, come on. Like that's However, I will say this. When I was, I think, in my mid-20s or early 20s, me and my cousin were out fishing at a very common place that we fished when we were younger. We went back when we got older, just kind of shoot the breeze, go fishing, relax. And there was a father and his son, very young, that came down there to go fishing. Now, my cousin was on the pier, as it were, like a boat dock, fishing. So he was a good distance away. So if you're just a random stranger coming in, you would see two people fishing that probably do not know each other at all. Because the amount of distance that's between us both. Like, fishermen respect fishing spots. So the kid and then the father come, and I move out of their way and let them go fishing where I was fishing. And we're sitting there fishing, relaxing, and the kid's like, I want to go over there. I want to go over there and fish. And the dad's like, no, because you'd have to get on the other side of the fence. Don't do that. I will say, don't climb over the side of this fence. Me and my cousin did, and we got a ticket for trespassing, which doesn't make any sense because it is a public park where you can fish. But I digress. That's old news. But the father was being very being very serious. Don't go over the fence. Don't do that. There's boundaries, and he's trying to teach his son this boundary. Yes. Don't cross it. And the son was just like, I don't care. I'm not going to listen to you, old man. Jumps over the fence. I see this and be like, hey, I wouldn't go over there if I were you. The kid looked at me like, who are you? And I'm like, dude, don't you know what squeegees are? And the kid's like, what? I'm like, the little fish people that live in those holes right there. Like, don't go over there. They'll get you. And my cousin from across the way is like, yeah, don't you know what squeegees are, man? Those are dangerous. Get out of there. And so he looks over to his dad for like confirmation. The dad's just like, yeah. Those are super dangerous. That's why I don't want you going over on that fence. The kid scurried over that fence so fast. This is one of my favorite stories of when I was hanging out with my cousin, because the amount of fear we distilled in this little kid was fantastic. And the fact that the dad was just like, once he was like, okay, come on, let's go over to this side where it's, we're not near that area, and we're fish over there. And he looked at me and just gave me the smile and the nod of like, thank you. And I'm like, please keep the legend alive. Exactly. So I implore you, if you're out with kids and you're on a boat or you're on like a riverbed or something like that, or a shore, tell them about the fish people. Like they're like the size of like an adolescent baby, or like not adolescent, but like a baby. But they're like full on fish monsters with razor sharp teeth that can bite through steel. That's why there's sunken boats too. The squeegees got them. Yeah, it was so much fun.
That is so much fun. It's funny that we're talking about demonic crazy babies.
Yeah.
Because that was my next one.
Ooh.
Once again, ancestors, forgive me. This is a Filipino folk or urban legend. It is called the T00. So, in Filipino legend or folklore, the T00 is the spirit of an unbaptized, stillborn, or aborted child.
Ooh.
And it has demonic features, claws, glowing teeth. In my mind, I'm thinking of like that baby from Pet Sematary.
I could see that, yeah.
For the knees, or ankles rather. So, with this, the T00 will look like a baby, like a regular, healthy baby. And it lures people by crying. Because, with many people, if they see a crying baby, they're like, what's going on with this baby? Let me help.
Yeah.
And, once the T00 has the person in the grasp, that's when they turn into the pale, sharp eyes, sickly appearance and gets them. And I believe they're considered vampiric, if you will. And with that, they attack people by draining their blood, and is, like a vampire, vulnerable to sunlight or repelled by garlic and rosaries. So I thought that was fun.
That is pretty much just a vampiric baby.
Yes.
Is that what it translates to? The tight. I'm not gonna try butchering it.
Like I said,
I'm pretty sure you did it way better than I could ever.
I mean, in this picture, it's calling it a demonic baby, which fair. So I thought that was funny that we both talked about babies.
Yeah, I do have another baby story that I don't know that much about. These are most of the urban legends that I'm familiar with outside of, like, the larger, more well-known ones like Bigfoot, Mothman, all that kind of stuff. Are more local to where I grew up.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in the middle of nowhere. All right. Well, I partially in a city, and then moved out into the country closer to my high school years. So a lot of the people that I knew out there lived around nothing but corn and bridges and the river. So very country boy kind of style. There was a story about, I think it's called the Crybaby Bridge, which I think is like an urban legend that's all over the place.
Oh no.
Oh. I think that's an urban legend in a lot of different small towns, but the one that I remember this being told to me was a lady was deeply sad because I can't remember. I think she had a baby, but she was like shunned from everywhere, and everyone shunned her for some reason. Maybe because she was a witch. I don't remember. But she had a baby that she couldn't take care of, and she decided to opt out of existence via a bridge. And piece that together.
Ooh. And
with the baby. So now when it said if you wait at a specific time at night, you will hear like a quiet sobbing coming from the bridge, and then a baby wailing, like a baby screaming and crying. And then it just abruptly stops in a splash of water. But nothing falls into you hear the splash, and it's just completely quiet. I'm like, that one's spooky.
That is very spooky.
Like, I don't remember where that one specifically is. The one I was going to talk about was about a stretch of road that I enjoyed that story because one of my former friends actually experienced this. But if you wanted to talk about yours.
Sure. So, Kartotkana, or rather Kartotnaka, which is I am sorry. And with that, I'm gonna mispronounce this wonderful language, my Nakra Kanong. So with this urban legend from Thailand, it is about a pregnant woman who dies during childbirth, but she doesn't know that she's dead. So she is living with her husband, unaware that she passed on. And that reminded me of that movie that we watched, which I cannot remember the name of, where the husband went away and then came back, and he was the only one who did not know that his wife was dead. And
No, I don't remember that one.
it was a sweet, endearing comedy, horror comedy, where I think this is where my interest for Thai urban legends came from. Because in Thailand, or at least when I was reading, I stumbled upon something that said that there are, for the most part, you will be hard-pressed to find a Thai person that doesn't have a ghost story. And it just made me think of that. But in the movie that I was talking about, everyone else in his village knew that his wife was dead, but he didn't. From his perspective, his wife was cleaning the house, feeding him, and all that good stuff. And eventually he had a suspicion. So he bent down and looked at her between his legs, which is apparently is how you can tell whether or not someone's a ghost. And when he did that, he was like, "Oh my goodness, you're a ghost. My wife's been dead this entire time." So I thought that was very interesting.
That is an interesting ghost story. Weird that it tied into a pregnant woman with the story I just told. So, the story that I have, I'm going to read as it's written because I feel like it was written very well. But excuse me for stuttering and dyslexiating all over the place. So this place, this story takes place, or the legend takes place in Watseka, Illinois. For those of you that don't know where Watseka, Illinois is, I mean, it's fine. You don't really, it's not like Chicago. It's probably like 2 miles, maybe 3 miles, hours, 2 to like 3 hours away from Chicago, south. And this is about 9 miles southwest of Watseka lies a place steeped in folklore known as Lantern Lane. There is a legend that a farm couple met their untimely demise in the early 1900s. People say that a lantern appears on the road as one of the couples search for the other. It's really cute. It's a very cute story about how they're still looking for each other, and even after death. So that's the legend. There's another story where a couple drives their car and they pull over to stargaze and get to know each other on a intimate level on this Lantern Lane, because it's in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by cornfields. And I think it was the boyfriend saw a lantern coming towards him, and he's like, "Oh no, it's the police, it's the cops. Act completely cool. Just let me handle it." And so they sat there and they waited for the police officer to come up and knock on their window. The light seemed to get closer and closer and closer, and their windows were a little bit fogged up, a little steamy, if you will. So they couldn't see what had the light source. They just saw a warm, orange glowing light. And it walked up to the car and circled the car a couple times and then proceeded to go down the road some more. And they were super confused, like, what was that? That was bizarre. So they decided to start the car, drive home. And they get home and they get out the car and I don't know if they couldn't see because it was dark, but they didn't notice it until next morning, where there was actually soot marks from like a burning flame all around their car, as if someone had a lantern, walked around their car. And I was like, that's a cool story. There's no pictures or evidence of that happening. However, one of my former friends, was out hunting real early in the morning or late at night, but he was staked out. It was dark, probably not legal thing for him to be doing, but to each their own. He was chilling out there, way off of the road, 100 feet plus, because legally you can't hunt that close to a road. It'd be 100 feet or more. And he's just chilling out in the cornfield hunting coyotes, which is legal to do. They are a nuisance, and they were wreaking havoc on the farms nearby. So he was doing a job, essentially. And he sat there and he waited as he's hunting. And this is a little bit into like the smartphone territory, but being out in the country, you're more likely going to have one of those old flip phones, which he did. He also had one that had a camera on it and all that good jazz. He was sitting out there waiting for coyotes to come up and do his thing, and he sees a light coming down this Lantern Lane. He didn't know about this urban legend. He had no clue about it. And he is just sitting there waiting, stalking, hunting, doing his duty. And he sees that orange glow. And he's just like, oh, that's weird. That's obviously like a kerosene lantern. Because he knows he's a country boy. He knows what a flame looks like. Not just like an LED light or an incandescent bulb. This was a flickering flame. And he saw it walking down at a human's walking pace, and he's just like, this is bizarre. Like, I don't know what's happening here. It's weird. He thought it was just like maybe some old man, you know, that still uses a kerosene lighter, is just trying to figure out who's laying out there, but he's pretty well covered. Like, camouflage wise, there's no way this farmer guy would be able to see it with his naked eye at night. And if he did, you know, God bless him, man. I had some great eyesight. So my former friend took out his phone, which is an old crappy phone, and films this light. And you can see this little flickering orange light just going down the road, and it doesn't stop. And he shuts his phone off because he gets, you know, that eerie, creepy hair standing on end feeling. And he just lays there and doesn't do anything else. He doesn't move. He's like, I'm not going to move unless I absolutely need to move. And I'm definitely not going to point his pew at it. Yeah. Because he was going to use the scope. But he's like, if it is a human, he doesn't want to point a weapon at them. That would be like super irresponsible. And if there's anything, you know, that the people I hung out with, they were very responsible when it came to firearms. But yeah, he showed me the video later, and he's like, yeah, check this out, this guy. And then I explained to him what Lantern Lane was, and he's like, excuse me, I just saw a ghost? I'm like, yes! Supposedly. It still could have been an older guy just walking with a lantern. But where was he going? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But yeah, I thought that was a really funny story. The fact that he actually... And when I say a crappy video, and I'm saying... I cannot stress this enough. Think of how Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster pictures were taken, how bad and poorly they were. It was that quality. Like, maybe you saw just a single pixel glowing and flickering as it was moving across a pitch black screen. So it's just like, there's no way of actually knowing what it was, because it had no frame of, not reference, but perspective, so you can like focus. So I was like, it was crazy. It was a fun story. Spooky too.
I like that one. That's really cute. So my next one is from Chinese urban legend. And like before, please pronounce my pronunciation, Jiangshai. So a Jiangshai is like a vampire. And for those of you who have seen Chinese horror movies, these are the stiff hopping vampires with their arms stretched out, and they're just like pop, 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 pop. And with that, there are multiple ways that, you know, they can be brought up to life, whether, you know, a spirit possessed a dead body, they, you know, a corpse just absorbed chi or yang chi, so energy, life force, and supernatural. It's always going to be a supernatural thing, let's be honest. And with that, the very interesting thing about this particular creature, the Jiangshai, is that in certain legends, they could fly.
Yep.
Like, can you imagine this stiff corpse, arms out like a zombie, flying at you? No, thank you. Heck no.
Yeah, so I remember seeing these in like a pretty old film.
Yes.
Where they're like, if you want to like know what we're talking about, if you stand up, put your feet together, put your hands like you're going to push a wall, but then take your hands and then put the back of your hands facing out. So you
Mhm.
kind of just dangle your hands down with your arms sticking straight out, and then you just bend the knees and hop up and forward and just hop, hop, hop. That's how they
Exactly.
move.
It is, and it's
I think they fly similarly, where they're just standing upright
yeah.
and fly. I don't think it's like Superman pose.
Yes.
I think it's just like they float.
And I think it's, to me, it's very comical. But at the same time, like, imagine being in that scenario where you see this random, corpse with fungi and all that thing coming at you. No, thank you.
Hopping towards you.
Hopping or flying towards you. No, thank you. And the interesting thing about the Jiangshi is that they're afraid of their reflection. So if you have a mirror handy, that's one way.
Yeah.
And another way is to get, I don't know if this is the fastest or most cost effective, but you can hire a Taoist to get rid of them. So this Taoist monk, I believe, will put a talisman on the Jiangshai, and the Taoist monk will essentially guide them to their resting place.
Oh.
And with that, they do it specifically at night because it's said to be a bad omen, bad luck, or what have you, for the living to see the Jiangshai.
Fair.
So I thought that was a very fun, a little bit of humorous one, if I must admit.
I do like that. I've seen so many representations of them.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
It is.
And also spooky.
Yeah.
Because again, if you really think about it, if you don't know anything about the supernatural, like you completely remove yourself of like the 21st century knowledge of how we represent supernatural stuff in media now. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That'd be terrifying to see.
Oh, for sure. I would never.
Oh, I'm trying to think of another urban legend that either was from my childhood or one that I know off the top of my head. Oh, and I want to circle back to the story where I was talking about the insane asylum. It is actually, oh my god, I literally just had it in my head and oh no, I can't believe I just did that. The Illinois State Hospital. That's what it's called. It was a state hospital. That if you look up that, then you'll be like, oh, that's the haunted place that this was talking about. Yes, that was it. It's very famous. That so Bachelor's Grove. I know I mentioned it earlier. There is an urban legend. There's several urban legends that happen in Bachelor's Grove. One of which has always fascinated me because this whoops. Sorry. Gotta solve a puzzle. Puzzle solved. Crisis diverted. Oh, that's rude. There we go. Anyways, as I was saying, there is an urban legend within Bachelor's Grove. Now there's the White Lady of Bachelor's Grove. There's a bunch of different White Lady, or Lady in White, not White Lady. There's a lot of them just around anywhere you go. Terrifying, truly. No, the urban legend that I'm talking about for Bachelor's Grove is the mansion. Now, do you know about the mansion?
Is that the one that disappeared?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm just absolutely fascinated with this. So in Bachelor's Grove, there is a forest. Not a very large forest, but a decent sized forest that kind of runs through the cemetery. So a lot of supernatural things that happen in that cemetery. One of which is a mansion that disappears. and it appears, I think, by like midnight or something, but it's not every single night. It randomly appears and disappears. And if you go into this mansion and you don't get out before it disappears, you disappear too. Very spooky. The reason why I'm absolutely fascinated by this is because there's been multiple people said that they've seen a structure inside the woods, but yet were never able actually to confirm that it was actually there. Which is like, that's so cool. It's so cool that there's just this massive building that just disappears. This is the awesome part.
Mm-hmm.
It has also been sighted in the haunted forest in Japan.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And other haunted forests throughout the world. And I'm like, that is such a cool urban legend. Like,
yeah.
there's just a traveling mansion that just can just pop up out of nowhere. And it makes me think of Constantine.
Oh, I can see that.
Because he has, even though he has a mansion that he can just like appear wherever he wants it to. And maybe that is the urban legend in itself, is that there's a specific mansion that does this. But the fact that it spans from not just one continent or country or state even, it's global. It goes everywhere. And I'm like, that's so fascinating. I don't have like the actual like description of said mansion, but it fascinates me. I wouldn't want to go in it or see it. But it also reminds me of the Pokemon Gengar.
I love it.
Because it's like, if you see actual Pokemon lore, like you're as good as dead. If you just think about him, you think about that Pokemon, you're dead. That's just how it is. And I'm like, it shouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you, it shouldn't be just like that. It's just like, oh yep, too bad. You thought about it. It's like, don't think about bananas. What's the first thing you're gonna think of?
Banana.
Exactly. But yeah, just I love that, the idea of a mansion teleporting from like country to country, forest to forest. I think it's also later got developed into like the Slenderman's mansion. Hello, Toothless.
Hi, Tooth. How are you, love?
I don't know what that is.
Whatever.
Don't know what it is. Never taken an L. Sorry. He says with 2 back surgeries.
Yeah.
Welcome, Toothless. We're talking about urban legends and spooky stories.
Yeah.
Because it is the spooky season.
Tis the time.
You did miss a few urban legends that I'm quite proud of, honestly, because I continued the legend, and I hope that it still continues to this day. But what about you? What do you got?
So I was stuck between wanting to talk about Chicago because Toothless and I were talking about Chicago before, or when I was visiting them, but I'm also I really want to talk about Thai urban legends because, near and dear to my heart. So with that, I think because you were talking about Bachelor's Grove,
Yeah, Bachelor's Grove.
because you were talking about that, I feel like I must talk about Chicago. So, a little history lesson for those of you who do not know. Chicago was once a swamp, a literal swamp, and they had to develop a city at said swamp. So, you can imagine a lot of lives were lost during that time. It is speculated that people, like the builders and everything, there were more builders and construction workers that died than Al Capone's victims combined, which is crazy to think of considering how, So, to say that Chicago might be slightly haunted is an understatement. When I was going to school in Chicago, I vividly remember my classmate talking about a lady in red. And, in urban legends, in many, many countries, you have a lady in red, black, white. They're just there, ready to kill you. Or they can either be benevolent, malevolent, or just there. And Toothless was introducing me to, or was telling me about this YouTuber, I believe. And this YouTuber is a believer of the, spookies, supernatural, and things of this nature. One of which being dwellers in Lower Wacker. And for those of you who have never had the displeasure of driving in Lower Wacker, it is more or less a tunnel system. And it will...
You mean a maze?
A labyrinth.
Yeah,
even.
Better.
And you will lose service.
This is a TikToker.
TikToker. Thank you, Toothy. So, this TikToker was, they truly believe the dwellers in the, in Lower Wacker. They truly believe vampires in the club, gargoyles, all of these things. And, most people don't know, but there is a lower Wacker. And this poor TikToker had the displeasure of turning into lower Wacker, where even her high beams, she can only see 20 feet in front of her. And, I am rightfully a coward. I don't bother with supernatural. I don't look at it. I don't interact with it because I know better.
I want to make you a coward. It means you have common sense.
That's fair. Like, I don't bother with any of that. I understand, but just because I understand don't mean I will acknowledge. In fact, I will turn my happy self the other way, and have done so in the past. So, with that said, this person who, as I emphasize, believes in the supernatural, believes in all of these stuff, has seen a gargoyle move their head towards them, decides that, oh, I'm in lower Wacker Drive, where it's, I can only see 20 feet in front of me. What's the best thing I'm gonna do? Stop my car.
Sure.
And I'm just like, there's a lot of judgment that went through this, this information dumping from Toothless. And, a lot of bombastic side eyes and stares. Because if I can't see in front of me, I'm not gonna stop. And if I start hearing growling around me, I sure as am not gonna stop.
Yeah.
In fact, I am going to floor it.
I will speed up even.
And eventually this TikToker does floor it and makes it out to the outskirts of Chicago. Wasn't sure how they got there, but they got there safe and sound. And like I said, questionable choices.
Very. What I was saying earlier is it's like in my younger days, I would have been, because I had that Caucasian curiosity.
That caucasity?
The caucasity. I've since outgrown it. I still am curious about stuff, but I'm not going to go outwardly and investigate said things. I hear a weird sound in the middle of the night. We have a cat. Pretty common that's going to happen. But if I hear a thud coming outside of our door, yeah, I'm going to look through the peephole. I'm not opening the door. I'm going to look through the peephole.
I'm not even looking. See, like,
I've had that happen to me.
I know.
It was terrifying. So I don't remember when it was. We had a few ghost stories that actually happened in our apartment.
That we said we were going to talk about in October.
Yes. This one isn't necessarily a ghost story. This one is, I heard a weird noise outside of our apartment, main door, and I got out to look, and I don't see anything, and I'm like, okay, that's odd. And then I see the door opening.
Yeah.
Our neighbor's door opening, and I'm like, oh, it's just our neighbors getting up for some reason in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And it just cracks open and then stops. And I'm like, okay, are you maybe they opened up a window and a draft came in and it pushed the door open because it wasn't closed all the way.
Yeah.
I noticed they had their keys hanging in the door still. And I was like, oh, they left their keys in the door. Oh, maybe they're opening it and they're talking to somebody and they're gonna reach around. And then sure enough, here comes a hand. Reaches around, touches around, and then goes behind the door, and the door closes. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed. Didn't see anything. Didn't matter what it was. I'm pretty sure it was just them. They had a very fun night, we'll say, and they were a little bit inebriated. I do have one other story.
Okay.
This one that popped into my head. This was pretty fun.
I'll let you go tell it while I go to the bathroom.
Okay.
What?
It was going to be very short, but okay, go ahead. I will continue. So, back when I lived down south of where I live currently, there was a hospital. I didn't really know anything about this hospital. It's changed names many, many times. And I was going to meet somebody for their lunch that worked there. And I went in there and sat down, had a lunch, got to meet some of their coworkers, pretty decent time, but I could not get over the smell. For some reason, it smelled like tobacco, like freshly, like either rolling tobacco, like someone was making a cigarette, or it smelled like someone smoking it, like a fresh smoke smell. And I was like, I couldn't shake it. I was like, oh, maybe it was one of like the nurses or dietitianary people that maybe smoked and they just came back and didn't think anything of it. The only reason why I know the fresh smell of tobacco is because my grandfather used to make his own cigarettes and would use a tobacco pipe. Old wooden pipe, kind of, sophisticated even looking thing. And he the entire house would smell like that tobacco. So it's ingrained in my brain that I can identify that smell immediately. And I've a couple times I would go there, have lunch, and a couple times, I'm still meeting new people or meeting coworkers and whatnot. It was fine. Again, the smell, and I'm like, I cannot get over that smell. Like, what is happening? Didn't mention it the second time going there. The third time, I couldn't take it anymore and was kind of weirded out because it was just me and the other person. There was no one else around us, and yet I could still smell it. And I realized I smelt it when I was going into the cafeteria, and I was like, does the cafeteria just stink like this? And when I mentioned it, the person sitting across from me just like quietly turned their head and looked at me and went, what? It's like, oh, I smell tobacco. Like, what's the deal? Why does it smell like smoke down here? And the entire cafeteria kind of got a little bit quiet. And I noticed a couple people were looking at me like, we don't smell smoke or tobacco. And if you say that in a hospital, you smell smoke or toast, it's a red flag, and everyone's just like, are you okay? That's not the reaction that they gave me. It's just they quietly stared at me and they were like, do you see anything? And I'm like, no. I mean, I see normal people. What's going on? So apparently in this hospital, there is a ghost that wanders around that smells like tobacco and cigarettes. And every single time I went in there, I could smell it. I just thought it was a random person. And they're like, no, nobody here that sits around this table smokes. And I'm like, So there's a ghost following me everywhere I go in this hospital.
Oh,
That's cool. That's fantastic. Why me? Can I be honest, dude? Like, why me? And then they later tell me that the cafeteria actually used to be the morgue. And I'm like, oh,
That
that's
makes
not
sense.
morbid at all. Like, cool. I'm eating breakfast right where they had somebody opened up. Cool. I love that.
I mean, for someone who was predicted to be a mortician.
I know. That is a little callback to our previous video. Go check that out. Now on Spotify. I think it's episode 8?
Yes.
This is episode 9?
Yeah.
Yay, I remembered.
Yes,
But
we're
yeah.
coming up to our 10.
Yeah. That was a really bizarre because when everyone stopped talking and looked at me, I'm talking people that sat like 3 or 4 tables away even stopped and turned to look at me. There are people that, were visiting people, were just eating their lunch. They didn't think anything of it. It's everyone that worked there knew that there was a person that used to work there that rolled their own tobacco, made their own cigarettes, that passed away on the clock. And they've had stories where in the cafeteria, the trays would just kind of like be thrown across the room, cabinets would just fly open randomly. And I'm just like, awesome. Guys, I want to tell you, I smell it right next to me. Like, it is sitting literally next to me. There's nobody there. What a wild story. Oh, God, creepy.
Hospitals are the breeding ground of ghosts. And
Is that why
is
I don't like hospitals?
could be, because that is my honest and true opinion. Even my mom also experienced some where she worked nights, and a lot of spooks happen at night. It's just a time for it. Let's be honest. And back where she used to work, they had this elevator where it would just randomly go to their floor, open, no one was there, and then go wherever it needed to after that. I want to say they nicknamed the ghost Bob after a while. Like, oh, hey, Bob! Okay, bye, Bob! It was very, very sweet, very
Cute.
endearing.
It reminds me of the ghost story for... Okay, so when I was looking up urban legends, I found an urban legend that I didn't know about until I am today years old. I've lived in that town for a long time, and I've never once ever heard about this urban legend. And I've been to this place many, many times. Paramount Theater.
Oh, okay.
I think you and I have actually been
We
there
used to
too to
be
go
there,
see a
yes.
movie. It's haunted, apparently. Like, super haunted.
Oh.
And it is the name of the spirit that is haunting there.
Is it Stephanie?
George.
George! It would have been better if it was scary.
I wish. No, it's George, and he was apparently one of the janitors that worked there. So occasionally people will hear the jingle jangle of keys and whatnot, and the smell of like smoke because he smoked. And I was like, that's awesome. I'm gonna be honest with you. George the Ghost. Super. This is really epic music for George the Ghost.
I love George the Ghost.
But yeah, I'm sure we can go over like 100 other urban legends.
So many.
In our specific area, ghost stories here and there, which we're saving a lot of the ghost stories for future podcast or episode.
Yes, which I want Toothless to be there because
You wanted what?
Toothless.
Yeah, I was mentioning it when earlier when I was talking about the Manteno State Hospital. It is called the Manteno State Hospital. I remember it now. And from what I do remember now a little bit more, all of the catacombs are closed off. And it is super illegal to go there because it's still an active place. So
of course, HIPAA and
you will
all
be
that.
you'll be trespassing and be like felony levels, I think. Pretty sure. Too risky, honestly. So it is a no public access stuff. But yeah, I remember what it was called. But I'm sure we can go on and on about the urban legends and ghost stories, but I would like to actually bring in multiple people for that, like take-in callers kind of thing.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
You open up a Discord and just have like mute us in the Discord. and then have like the person talk to
Oh,
us so
that'll
we
be
can actually hear
cute.
them talk and
Yeah.
tell us their personal stories. Thought that would be really fun. We should set up a Reddit.
Mito has a bunch of ghost stories that I cannot wait.
How would it be fun? Have Mito,
Yeah.
White Boy Nick, if he has any.
I don't know. I mean, okay, so
I feel like he would know of some.
he might know us. He did used to work in Chicago, so maybe.
He did work Chicago, like in Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, there's a good chance.
So White Boy Nick might be the caucasity we're looking for.
Yeah, and then Toothless Gremlin,
Yes.
Jazz, maybe you.
I would imagine Jazz, but not Moofish. Moofish has never had an encounter, which bless.
Ooh, I also have an idea of Reddit and getting multiple people to help read them.
Ooh, that'd be nice too.
Yeah.
I would love to do a Reddit podcast.
I would
you.
love, yes, I would love for you and Toothless to do a Reddit stories,
Yeah.
like because you have a great voice for reading.
Do I?
You do.
That's sweet of
And
you.
I know I also have the potential. It's just dyslexia and ADHD just really make it difficult for me to read sometimes.
You do too, Toothless. I love so a little bit of lore with Toothless and I. I never really read the Harry Potter books. That was just like it's not like it was banned in my home. My mom would read it to us, at least like I think like the first 2 or 3 to us for bedtime. And I just didn't remember a whole lot of it because my short-term memory is goat. My long-term memory, iffy at best. Sometimes really good. Sometimes I'm just like, wow. So, Toothless would read me, or rather, Toothless and I would take turns reading, chapters of Harry Potter to each other. And I love it when Toothless does voices for these characters. Because Toothless is just naturally great at them. So I'm very excited to truly have that podcast with them and just go ham.
Oh, you just need someone to talk in your ear, No, that's actually that's the issue.
Yeah.
If I hear other people talking, my brain immediately shuts down and is just like, oh, let them finish. I've tested this by listening to myself. So I have a button that I will be able to hear myself by like a voice fluctuator. Stop. So if I like turn on the gas mask, it sounds like I'm wearing a gas mask now, but we can't hear it.
Yes.
But if I click this, we can.
Oh.
So you guys probably hear us twice now.
I don't like that.
Yeah. But I use that to kind of like how loud am I speaking?
Mm-hmm.
Is the voice effect good or is it bad?
Yes.
And when I go to talk, I'll just be like, because I'm talking to myself while hearing myself, and it's just like it screws my brain up.
Yes.
And I don't like talking while other people are talking because I find it rude. Unless it's a movie.
Unless it's a movie, then we will chit chat and
Yeah.
everything in between. Cause
Talk smack.
so it's a habit that I picked up in college. Funny enough, I was watching. I forgot what movie it was. It was like Haunted House on a Hill or something of that nature. And I am the type of person who will step up if I see someone else, in trouble or, feel like they need emotional support. And I hated horror movies myself. Like, I know people wouldn't think it now, but very short time ago, I hated horror movies. I will jump very easily at sudden sounds, sudden movements.
Still do.
I do. Like, I'm a very, unfortunately, easy target. And I know this about myself. And I don't actively go outside of my comfort zone and get scared, or didn't. And, with this particular outing, I realized that there were people that were more cowardice than I was. So I became Mama Bear and was just like, did you guys see that? That was so funny, right? And, crack jokes all throughout.
Defusing the situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just redirecting everything. So it went from a horror movie to a comedy very fast. Yep. And, that's just how I do it because, like I said, I don't like seeing others in pain. It's that empathetic part of me, if you will.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I do the same thing. I guess, because I think Romy also asked us, how did we get past that, like, part of your brain that is the fear? I can't remember the specific term she used. And I'm like, it's more or less just a desensitization to it. You got to basically exposure therapy, and as long as you're in a controlled environment, you'll desensitize yourself to those types of horror. And if you watch enough of them, you'll be like me and be like, that was predictable. I saw that coming a mile away.
Toothless
Except for
too.
Weapons.
Weapons was
that one actually got me off guard.
That one was really fun.
It was a good movie. Did not see the ending coming. I genuinely did not expect it. And I'm absolutely here for it.
It was a fun ride and
worth it.
Yes. Like I said, for Weapons, I'm not gonna spoil anything. However, I would suggest for those who are really into horror, wanting to be jump scared, all that good stuff.
One decent jump scare, ending with surprise. Overall, would recommend.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend. I just wouldn't necessarily go into it with a mindset of this being the scariest movie I've ever seen in my young life.
Yep.
If you're going into it to, a thrill of the lifetime, it's not going to be that.
You're better
movie.
off going to a haunted house.
Exactly.
If you want a good jump scare or you want to be actually scared, better off going to a haunted house. Not saying that it wasn't a scary movie. Some people could find it scary, especially the younger crowd. Gotta remember, we're older, we're desensitized.
I mean, I've seen people bleed out, so yeah.
I'm trying to go in it with a mindset of people who haven't had decades of horror movies exposure. I refuse. I cannot.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I think I went to a haunted house once with you. It was the first and only time outside of working for one.
I clung to you like glue.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I think you were in front of me and you had both of my hands. So I'm like, I literally cannot step away from you. I cannot walk past you. I'm locked in right here. And the entire time, every now and then it'll be like booga booga booga. I'm like,
I was not about it.
The one did scare me is that the person was actually right behind me, and I was standing with the things draping over my back and neck, so I got that weird tingle. Someone's standing behind me, but I'm like, it's just the tickling of the.
Yeah, that's true. So Toothless has a very much. There is no flight. There's just fight.
Just hands are rated E for everyone.
Exactly.
I would feel bad.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ghost. I didn't mean to kick you in the nads.
Right? I'm so sorry. Whereas I had the opposite route. So, one of my former friends' partner worked in a haunted house. And with that, they were just like, that. We were gonna invite you to be one of the, scare actors, but then we realized that if you accidentally scared someone, you were gonna apologize immediately, and it would just be you going sorry the entire time. And I'm like, you're not wrong.
I mean, there's a way you could work around that. Use that to advantage. Just be the creepy little girl being like, sorry. And we're like, why are you apologizing? What did you do?
You'll have to find out.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Spooky.
I'm so sorry. Yep.
And then they would just scream like, ah!
Exactly. which would be fun.
That would be fun. Play into it.
Yeah, exactly. Now I can because D&D and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But back then, not so much.
Very fair, very
So
fair.
Toothless says, see, I would have fun being the scare actor, probably but be laughing. Yeah, I can see that. I can see you laughing at them.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the urban legends.
Yeah.
I know we can keep talking more and more about them, but
That's why there is
an option for a part 2.
exactly. So
Let us know if you guys would like to hear us talk more about. There is still 2 months, so next session that we're doing this, we already have it planned out, what we're going to be talking about. Yes. And then the session after that, which I'm looking at looking at the calendar right now. 1, 2 Sunday, 3 Sundays. Yeah, there's 3 Sundays. So next Sunday, so there's 2 Sundays left. We will need more topics. Spooky topics. Ooh. This is for September, or just normal topics. Which I got a few in mind.
I have a few in mind too.
To write them down so I don't forget.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully everyone enjoyed talking about urban legends.
Like we said, please do post your own stories. So if you are willing, we will be happy to read them during the October Haunt Fest that we're going to have. So with that, it is time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for listening. Please do follow us at Otru Studios on Twitch, YouTube. We also have a Spotify.
Yep, Spoofy.
It's
under 2TOO Squirrel, the number 1 nut.
Yeah.
Singular.
One singular nut and one singular squirrel.
I recently had to change it from T00. I forgot that's what we did when we originally made it, but it made it harder for everyone else to actually find it.
Yeah.
So capital T, capital O, capital O.
Yes.
Squirrel, the number 1 nut, capital N.
Yeah.
On Spotify.
And Spoofy.
And these will be uploaded on YouTube as well under Old Drew Studios.
So please listen to us on there. And I hope everyone has a marvelous day. Until the next nut drop, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.